Am I the donkey for giving my daughter $60 a week but my son nothing? I, 45 female, have two kids, 17 female and 15 male. We moved earlier this year to be closer to my parents as my parents' health is declining. My daughter was excited about the move, but my son was struggling to adjust. Due to the move, my job shifted to hybrid and I needed a work from home setup. My bedroom is too small, and the only options were the lounge or one of the kids' rooms during school hours. I proposed this to them. My son flat out refused. No way. And my daughter offered her room and half joked about charging me rent for the space. I thought it was fair, as I get a $20 a day work from home allowance. I agreed to give it to her if she was okay with me setting up a small office in her room. I work from 8:30 to 5, and she usually starts homework right after I finish, so it's worked out well. Now the issue. My son is mad that his sister is getting $60. I don't do regular allowances, just canteen money, about $10 a week, and other needs as they come up. I told him he had the same opportunity and was now out of luck. He got angry and brought up the move, saying he never gets to see his friends. For the record, I drive them back to visit every 2 weeks for visits. I told him I understood his feelings but said I wouldn't tolerate being spoken to like that. He then started an argument with his sister too, going in on her for being an opportunistic person, and she called him a whiny little donkey. To cool off, I offered one of them the option to stay at their grandparents for the night, not as a punishment, but to break the tension. My son opted to go, and while dropping him off, my mom told me I was favoring my daughter and should be paying them equally. My dad disagreed, saying my son had the chance and was out of luck. Am I the donkey? ETA. The conversation took place over the course of the afternoon, and I didn't immediately agree to the deal with my daughter. I offered it to my son first, who reiterated, no, and get out of my room. I also should mention the reason I have the smallest room is due to the lack of insulation in the ceiling and roofing making it damp. And as we're heading into winter, I wasn't sending either kid in there. The room also fits a single bed and a set of drawers, with essentially no other space at all. We own the house in Auckland, New Zealand, and I don't have the spare cash to get it insulated at the moment, or even fit any of my equipment to work from home in there. Comment 1. Not the donkey. There is a real cost to your daughter to be sharing her room. She is giving up some of her privacy, likely has to keep things tidier, etc., and generally doesn't get a space that fully feels like hers. She's decided that it's worth it to her for $60 a week. It would be extremely unfair if the son got the same amount for literally doing nothing. The only way I'd potentially give him some of the money is if the office moved between the two rooms and on alternate weeks or months, depending on how hard it is to move the office setup. He gave up his room. Comment 2. Offer your son a job, like weekly a couple of things to do. It could be things like taking out the garbage or yard work or even vacuuming. That way he has an opportunity to receive money too. Comment 3. Not the donkey. I'm with your dad. Your daughter took the option to co-share her room and came up with a win-win situation. If your son had been less angry with you over the move, he might have come up with a similar solution. It's too bad that your son is having such a hard time with the move, but you're right that he has no call to treat you like poo-poo or talk to you like poo-poo. Hopefully things will calm down eventually and that your son will start making new friends. Comment 4. You are the donkey. You said he was having trouble adjusting. That's the only safe space he currently has. Anyone, especially a teenage boy, is going to have a knee-jerk reaction to a suggestion that his space may be invaded. You've uprooted his life, and by the sounds of it, he doesn't have the income to be able to socialize with anyone else outside of the school, even if he's invited. You must have known the limitations in advance, and this should have been discussed before moving. Edit typo. Comment 5. You are the donkey. Take everything you said out of the equation. Put all of that to the side for now, and just focus on this next part. Look at the power dynamic you've instilled between your daughter and son. What negatives could possibly result from this? Tons. Jealousy, resentment, maybe even violence. What positives could possibly result from this? I'm genuinely asking because I don't know. This story is interesting because the comments are quite divided. Some saying that, OP is the donkey, some saying that the son is the donkey. However, the story itself has the donkey red label on it. So let me know what you think about this situation. Story 2. I, male 30, have a girlfriend, female 28, who does not want to ever meet my daughter. What can help? For a quick bit of background, I have a 3-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. Currently, I'm able to see her once a week every Wednesday with the hope of being able to have more time in the future. My current girlfriend has been a friend for over a decade until we finally got together 9 months back. We've been fairly happy for the most of it, the odd disagreement, but nothing crazy unusual. She is unable to conceive or ever have a child of her own. I'm fine with this, understand how difficult that must be for her, and want to be supportive. Due to this, she has stated she never wants to meet my daughter. She doesn't want it rubbed in her face, what she feels she is missing out on. She has stated she will meet my daughter perhaps at age 18, when she is old enough to understand why she's never met her, but that's it. She wants absolute, minimal contact for the duration of her life. I want to respect her decision, but I feel like this could inevitably create a wedge between me and my child as she ages, which I clearly don't want. Never meeting my daughter denies a lot of family situations, birthday meals, Father's Day, Christmas, if we had a wedding, etc. My friends think I will eventually end the situation over it. She is adamant she will never ever change her mind or be open to it. She is completely closed off to the idea of even trying it as a one-time thing and seeing how she feels. I'm not wanting her to become a stepmom. I just don't want the situation where their paths can never cross. My girlfriend can never be around when my daughter is, etc. I will of course always choose my daughter. She already has to grow up and learn her parents have split. I don't want to give her another weird scenario to understand. I am posting this as a last-ditch effort to try to come up with a solution. I don't see a way past this, sadly. I don't want to end it, but I see no choice. Update. Ended the relationship. Comment 1. You want a 15-year relationship with your family never coming up together? This isn't going to work at all. Comment 2. Find another girlfriend. Comment 3. I'm not even sure why you're asking. She's made a choice and it's incompatible with your parenting, and parenting comes first. Comment 4. Men are wild. You're a father and this woman never wants you to spend time with your daughter and somehow you're questioning if this is okay? Step up and be a dad and leave this woman. I can't believe this is even a choice you're playing out in your head. Gross. Comment 5. If we had a wedding, etc. The fact you're even thinking of marrying someone who wants to pretend your daughter doesn't exist is so ugly. Comment 6. Yeah, you're not compatible. Sorry. Comment 7. She's not the one for you. Another 15 years of this? No way. Break up. Comment 8. Why would you disrespect your daughter like that? She deserves someone that wants to be in her life. I agree with these comments. I understand OP wanted to keep the relationship with his girlfriend, or now ex-girlfriend, but when you have a daughter or a child, you have to put your child first and their best interests. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye!